Hey everybody, and I've still got my headphones on. I'll take those off right now. Excuse me. Right, hey everybody, it is Cosmo the Coder, and once again, because they're still doing it, every Tuesday is another Humble Bundle review. So they're continuing on with the trend. They've added the Star Wars 2 bundle, which I will have another look at the end of this video, from last week, and they have created a new bundle called the Humble Jumbo Bundle 6. It's amazing to believe there's actually been 5 of them already, but it is what it is. So we're going to go and have a quick look at this. Before I do start, though, we have reached, well, we say we, there's been, if you have subscribed recently, first of all, thank you, because thanks to you guys, we've now reached a little milestone of 100 subscribers, which isn't bad for a little channel like this. I hope. It is what it is, you know. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, you know, but 100 people have subscribed to my channel. That in my book is something that's quite good, quite useful. And as always, views are good, but at the end of the day, what I care about is if people are watching and are interested and want to do, then that's fine by me. If they weren't, it's still fine by me. But as always, it's much appreciated, guys. So if you're one of those subscribers that have subscribed recently, thank you, greatly appreciated. Knowing my luck, as soon as this goes out and it's uploaded, my subscribers will suddenly go down by 3 or something. Just to make everyone say, no, he hasn't got 100, he's got 97. Right, anyway. I'm going to get rid of this image here. I am working on something that hopefully will make it a bit more animated, that'll make it scroll rather than me just clicking in OBS and turning it off. A bit sad, really, but hey. So, the Humble Jumbo Bundle 6 is, if I actually get my notes up here, a few interesting games. Now, first of all, I will say that it does give you 10% the Humble Monthly. That does include the fact if you are new or existing customers. It sadly doesn't stack, so even if I got 4 10% off, it's still only just 1 10% off. But hey, I'm not complaining. Because money-wise, it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world, really. For the $12 a month is not a lot for the Humble Monthly. As I've said in my previous Humble Monthly review video, you know, it's not much. Sorry, I'm about to burp, so there might be. There you go. Pardon me. It's that pizza I had. So, what have we got in this bundle? Well, a few games. So I was trying to think what I was going to do. That's it. So obviously, as always, prices are in pounds for me, not in dollars. I meant to re-look up how much a dollar is in pounds. I will find it out quickly for you whilst I'm doing that. All prices are compared to what's in Steam, and it is the pound value in the UK. I have looked into converting. But the biggest issue with that is that if I convert the UK prices from pounds to dollars, that's not necessarily the price you'll be paying in the US, because the US Steam prices are different thanks to currency conversion. Not currency conversion, but also because they do different pricing. So I may be paying more or less for what you might pay if you were in America or the US or whatever country you're in. So I'm trying to sort of keep things consistent in the sense of that if I say it's £1 for me, £1 for me, then if you can figure out how much a pound roughly is, then you would know how much it is in a dollar. There, so a dollar is about 70 pence, so 0.7 of a pound. So you know that's not too bad. Okay, right, I'm gonna get on with this because enough talk. Move. Right. So, the white tier. The first tier, as always, 10% off, like I mentioned, Humble Monthly. Humble Monthly is quite good in the sense that you do get a 10% off in the Humble store. Whether you use it or not is another question. So, it might actually help you in that sort of sense as well. So, first and foremost, we got 3 games. Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas. Now, the best way to sort of compare this is sort of it's an adventure RPG kind of game. It's quite impressive graphically. People have compared it to looking and playing a bit like Zelda. It's got some good reviews on Steam. It's £10.99. So overall, you know, instantaneously, oops, and I've just clicked on the wrong thing. Overall, it's definitely worth, you know, any kind of amount of money, because on Steam, that's quite, you know, it's quite a big deal in terms of money. It's also one of the only ones in this tier that is DRM free, so you don't have to have it on Steam. You can have it separate. And yeah, that's about it really. So definitely the videos look quite impressive, I'll give you that. So it might be something I'd put on my to play list in the future. But believe me, this list is getting exceptionally long. I've got to find more time from somewhere. Having kids seriously just dampens all your playtime whatsoever completely. Right, Shadowrun. Now, what should I say? I know a bit about Shadowrun, and I'm struggling with the soft R's, but that's just me. It's basically a series of turn-based RPGs, and this one is this one's with a cyberpunk sort of theme, so it's set in the future, and you sort of have sort of a combination of magic and technology and things like that. So it's all kind of interlocked and all that sort of thing. It's $17.99 on Steam. It's got good reviews, but it's also got some bad reviews. Some people don't like it because it's more of an MMO based game than more sort of a single player game. Well, not a single player game, but it's the usual sort of Shadowrun RPG-esque elements to it. If you don't know what Shadowrun is, then you know, have a, sort of do a quick sort of look it up and everything. It's more sort of a set in a unique sort of universe. The general sort of complaints are, you know, it's not the same as other Shadowrun games, and there is no real end game to it. It's kind of a bit lost, but you do get the soundtrack, which is pretty cool. Moving into the next one, which is War Machine. Now, apparently, there's a sort of I was going to say a universe based in War Machine, but I've never heard of it. Now, that just might be because I've never actually, you know, opened my ears or opened my eyes to anything other than that. It's another sort of turn-based strategy game. Sort of a steampunk element with elements with magic. Sorry, I'm reading and changing the words around in my notes. It's got some rather mixed reviews with regards to how the DLCs work, because what you're getting is the standard edition plus some extra little bits here and there with the mercenaries faction bundle. So some people have been complaining about how the DLC is sort of put behind a paywall and what the DLC does and everything like that. There's also been some technical issues with the game, but overall it's okay. And that's what the general sort of reviews, the general reviews I get from Steam sort of say it's okay. So again, if you're into that kind of thing with turn-based strategy games, definitely worth a look. Okay, so straight on into the green tier then. And sorry if I bumped the microphone, so that was probably going to say, my ears. Another Shadowrun game. This time is the director's cut of Dragonfall. Now, again, it's another turn-based RPG. It's cyberpunk again, so very similar to the other Shadowrun game. It's actually got quite good reviews. A lot of people quite like this game. It's also got an exceptionally good story, according to a lot of the reviews. So it's quite good in terms of that. It's, I actually wrote this. Where is it? $10.99 on Steam. Actually, did I say War Machine was $14.99? Did I say that? I don't know. No. So yeah, but it overall it looks pretty good. It's pretty much the same as the previous Dragonfall game up there, anyway. But apparently this one's a lot better, according to the reviews. So who knows? Dreamfall Chapters. Now, I have heard of Dreamfall, and I think I actually played one of the games. I can't remember if it's Longest Journey and Dreamfall, or Dreamfall. It was a Kickstarter-funded game, sort of to create the sequels to those two games, because they were both adventure games. Basically the idea is that you journey between two parallel worlds. One is a dark cyberpunk vision of the future, and the other is a magical fantasy realm. And you play as two characters on their journeys between the worlds to save it from being destroyed by something called the Undreaming. It's an interesting kind of storyline. It's quite critically acclaimed in certain magazines and everything like that. Extremely well reviewed. At the moment, if it's called Dreamfall Chapters because there's different books, and there's apparently sort of 5 chapters or 5 episodes. At the moment, 4 of those are available, and you will get the 5th one when it comes out. It's actually the most expensive game on Steam out of this bundle. It's $23.99. So for the actual amount you're paying, which at the moment, at the time of this video was made, it's $6.29. That's pretty damn good. So definitely, in terms of money, worth a good look. And apparently, it's like I said, the reviews are quite good. So if it's your kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, genre. That's it. That's the right word. I need more sleep, guys. Sorry. Then definitely check it out. Now, right, Magicka. Magicka 2 is. How to describe Magicka 2? If you know anything about Magicka, then you're already about 10 steps ahead of what I'm about to say. It's an adventure game, but it's a top-down sort of adventure game, similar to, in style, at least visually, like Diablo. You basically control a wizard, you walk around, you create spells, you're combining different elements. So, for instance, if you have a fire spell and a water spell, and you put them together, you get a steam attack. You basically use it to fight enemies. It has got a cooperative sort of multiplayer thing where other people, I think it's up to 4 players, can play wizards and travel through through Midgard, I think it's called. And it's got some comedic elements. It's supposed to be sort of a game you don't take too seriously. Review wise, it's quite mixed. Some people say it's okay, some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. Fans say it's not really as good as the previous game, some say it's better than the previous game. It's kind of a really mixed bag. Excuse me. The main advice seems to be that if you enjoyed the previous Magicka game, then you're going to kind of like this one. But I haven't played either of them. The trailers look a bit. They don't take themselves rather seriously. Let's put it that way. So again, buy at your own peril. So obviously there's more games to come. And we'll look at the Star Wars bundle in just a minute to see what has come. But at the blue tier, for $12 or more, is Grey Goo. Now, Grey Goo is, if you don't know what Grey Goo is supposed to be, the idea is that it's, if you were to break down materials into their sort of base elements, you get basically like Grey Goo. Nanites and all that kind of stuff. So it's a real-time strategy game set in space where there's alien races fighting, and it's sort of a throwback to old school real-time strategy games like StarCraft and StarCraft, Command and Conquer, that kind of stuff. It's got some mostly positive reviews. The biggest sort of criticism about the game is that the single-player game is fairly limited. There's not a huge, glorious campaign. You basically have like 5 or 6 missions for each independent race. Generally speaking, it's a fairly good game. It's the second most expensive at $22.99. So for $12, you're laughing, basically. So definitely worth a good go. And that's exactly what I've paid more than that, slightly more than that anyway. But I've gone for the blue tier myself. So because I have been interested in playing Grey Goo, or at least looking at it. Most of the other ones, Dreamfall Chapters, I was interested in briefly. I didn't know about the Kickstarter, but generally all the other ones I hadn't really sort of thought much of playing. I think actually War Machine I wasn't really interested in. I actually marked it as not interested in Steam. But it's part of the bundle and I may as well get it anyway. Okay, well that's pretty much all for this bundle. I will, well, depending on what extra games come next week, I may give another review, especially if they continue running bundles in parallel. But just quickly, we'll shoot over to the Star Wars 2 bundle and see what they have added on. So they've added on 3 games, which 2 of which are sort of direct sequels to one another. It's Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2. Now, Dark Forces is a Doom-esque Star Wars game where basically you walk around with and shoot stormtroopers and different things. I actually meant to check how well it works, because I didn't mean to do that, because obviously it's so old that it used to be running on DOS and everything like that, but I imagine it runs quite well. They usually do. I'll actually quickly look that up whilst we're looking at it. But yeah, if you want some classic first-person shooter games from yesteryear, then it's definitely a firm favourite. You know, it's a firm part of history. So, it's definitely worth it, I think. Now, obviously, one thing about it is it's actually set during the Star Wars movies. I think you actually play the guy you play, called Kyle Katarn, is supposedly the guy who helped steal the plans for the Death Star. So it's kind of sort of interwoven with the whole Star Wars universe and everything, but it's kind of outside of that. Now, Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight is where you actually get to fight with lightsabers. Again, it's an older game. The graphics are laughable compared to what they are now. If you want to sort of very triangular heads, and that's my pop shield. Whoops. Ow. Both games are actually cost £4.79. Weirdly, despite one being quite a lot older than the other, but definitely worth it if you want some old school first-person shooter games, or third-person. I think actually Dark Forces 2 lets you be third-person because it's easier to use the lightsaber with. But both are exceptionally long games, and can you spend countless hours playing them and having all kinds of fun just shooting stormtroopers. Battlefront 2. Now, I never actually played any of Star Wars Battlefront games before and ever, but obviously I heard about them. It's sort of it's more of a sort of group-based game where you take part in various battles during the Star Wars world, Star Wars campaign. Well, yeah, Star Wars sort of storyline. You know what I'm saying. It's worth mentioning that there is no online play anymore for Battlefront 2. It's you're going to be purely locked into single player because all the servers and everything have been shut down for quite some time. So yeah, but it's £6.99. Not bad. Not a bad little game. Not a bad little deal for a game that is fairly old, but definitely worth a look just for the sheer hell of it, I think. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm sorry it's a bit all over the place. Everyone here has got a bit of a cold, so I'd probably fighting one myself, and with kids having colds and everything, it affects your sleep patterns, so I'm a bit sort of bleh. But anyway, as always, like, dislike, subscribe, comment, the usual sort of stuff, and I always respond to various comments. Thank you guys for watching. A brief note to anyone who does watch my weekly bundle reviews. It may be that Thursday's bundle review is done on Saturday, depending on how things are going, as it's one of my son's birthdays on Friday, and I have to stick all the banners up and all that kind of stuff. So it might be that the weekly review is a bit late this week, assuming there is one. There isn't always, but there you go. Alright guys, that's it. I'm done. I'm Cosmo the Coder. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.